I want emeralds. Why? Dunno really. But for this, we're going to build a house that contains several villages to trade with, and that involves collecting a lot of wood. I just realized I'm stupid because I have a tree farm. This is the spot where I'm putting the build, and I'm just going to flatten out the land, fix it all up, and ready to start building. We need to start by building the frames. Now the roof. And now the wall. Wow, we got the house done in 10 seconds. I mean, I say done, but it's not quite. Now if we go over here, there are some villagers that we can get. Except before we get them and bring them over, I want to see how high we can stack this. From that we got 13 villages. And if I kept stacking, that one would just fall straight in. So 13 is around the max. But I did unfortunately realize this whole system is designed that we get the trade before we take them up here. Meaning, I'm sorry. Anyways, we need more villages. We got some villages now, so we're going to build a track over to the house. I got some potions made, golden apples, and we're just going to bring a villager and just trade him and then cure him. That's not meant to happen. So I moved the zombie one block lower, and we're just going to see how this works again. So we grab a villager, place the workbench, trade with him, grab a weakness potion. Alright, guess we get the zombie first, forgot about that. And we just gotta wait here. And let's trade with him again and send him off. Now we got 2 villagers here, but before we actually bring in more, make this whole place a mess, let's just go down and actually build the inside. So here's the house done, and if we go inside, each one of these slots is going to contain 1 villager. And I plan to have something a bit more special on this wall here. Right down here we have our first villager slot, so we're going to push this guy down into it. I'm hoping he's not going to be annoying. Now he's in, we'll just replace this with a fletching table, and that's our first dude in here. And there, we got 2 in already. So the villagers are in, we got all of them. We're done, except that hole in the roof. We'll get to that another time. But the villagers are in. We're going to start building the thing on the wall by just digging in 2 blocks back here. Now we're going to get rid of this wall and we're going to replace it with honey. Essentially what we're doing is we're going to have a dropper that drops items down here, collects them, puts them back up, so it's a constant waterfall. Right now we are just looking out, but I will fix that. But for now we're just going to place it anyway. Right here we're going to place a dropper and connect some hoppers. Now that we got this, we're going to dig up and we're going to make a bubble elevator that connects it to that dropper up there. And here we're pretty much done. We need to connect up the bubble elevator and cover all this up. We got it covered, and I'm going to make an on-off switch. It should be all done, so let's test it. And it's working. The items go down, and in a second they come back up. And you hear that annoying sound is why I made this switch. Over here we got our tree farm, and I'm going to make it using an auto crafter that we can put the log and it just auto crafts into sticks and gets sent up there. We're going to start by digging out a little space. Or maybe not. To start, we're going to have a barrel in the middle. And this is going to go into an auto crafter. Then I'm just going to place some comparators around here. And this system will convert logs into planks. And this auto crafter here will convert them into sticks. And then we can place them in a dropper here. And then we're going to send them up in a water stream. And we should be done. If I place these in here, they should get sent straight up into the system. But we got an infinite waterfall, and whenever we get wood from the tree farm, we can put it straight up and send it here, ready to trade. And we can grab some, like this. Either we can just trade straight away, or we can store it in the barrels. Everything about the inside is now done, and now we're going to build the scenery for the outside. To start, we need lots of leaves, so I got shears and 64 iron blocks. And we're just going to take down this whole forest. Everything we need is in here, in all of these shulker boxes. And to start, we're just going to place some logs around here so we know where we're going to build our trees. So far, we just got the start of some trees. But before we put in the leaves, we are just going to work on some other things on the floor. One, because it'll make everything easier in the long run. And two, because I'm procrastinating. We're going to start making the path. And then we're going to add a bit of detail. And then we're just going to change the blocks on the floor to podzol. Now we got a bunch of leaves and we've got to do the really annoying part, which is turn all of these into actual trees, which isn't fun, but it's got to be done. So we built the trees, and when you walk in here, it sort of feels a bit like a forest, even though it ends right here. Overall, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and it took me roughly an hour to build all these trees. If we go through here, we see this empty space, and here we're going to build a lake, but first we're going to clean up this and build the outline. Now we need to just fully clear this out. So we got a dugout. I did make a few changes since the time lapse, but what we're going to do now is we got some blocks. We're just going to be placing it all across here, and we're going to grab some ice, put it on top to fill the top with water. And there we go. Now we're going to grab some ice, just place a few blocks around here, break them, and we're going to grab our water bucket and try to create infinite sources and fill every space. And look at that. And there, it's all filled with water. We're just going to grab a tool and we're just going to break all of the moss so the water flows down. And there we got a lake. Not a very detailed lake, but we got a little lake. Now we got a detailed lake, I went and placed a bit of sand and gravel everywhere. We got a bunch of buckets, and we're gonna go here to fill up the lake. We're gonna kidnap a bunch of fish. So we managed to get the fish, and now we're just going to work on the very last part of it, and that is right here. We're going to have a waterfall coming from all the way up there that flows down to the lake. I've already marked out where I want the water to flow, so we're just going to go up there and place some water so we can easily build our way down. So we're just going to place water along here, and it doesn't really matter much that this water doesn't make actual sense, because, well, you're never going to be up here to see it. Now I messed this up just a little, because it shouldn't be flowing back here, so I'm just going to fix that. And there it's fixed. So we just need to make a path for the water to flow down, but not just go crazy and spill everywhere. So this should all work, but we're just going to try it. We're going to release the water and just hope it all flows properly. Not quite. Let's see if we can just fix this. What does that change? It almost reaches. There we go. And it should reach perfectly. And there we got a waterfall. So I added a bit of extra details to start with this viewing platform where we can look down. Then I added some lampposts, a dock and a boat, and then some more lamps and some logs over here. And finally we've got a bunch of sticks, and I'm just going to go and trade all of them to see how many emeralds we can get. From my inventory we got 42 emeralds, and sticks are very easy to get, especially with the tree farm just back here, meaning essentially we have as many emeralds as we want. If you like this video, also you should check out this one where I made Wordle in Minecraft.